In the right now, in the right now, got a very special guest. She's the founder of, she's the director of Kimplanter Seedlings. She's called Caroline Mwangi. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Karibu sana morning vibes. And we are excited to speak to you about women in agribusiness. Caroline,
Yes.
which part of the country are you?
I'm in Kiambu County.
Kiambu County.
Yes, yeah.
Caroline, how did you get involved with farming?
For me, farming started as a hobby. I started doing this when I was 21. Okay, let me do a proper introduction of myself.
Karibu.
So my name is Caroline Mwangi. I have a company called Kimplanter Seedlings.
Kimplanter.
I am, Kimplanter Seedlings and nurseries. What we do, we raise seedlings, then we sell them to farmers.
Okay.
We also offer them agronomy services for free. We sell to them farm inputs and we guide them to their farming journey. So this, for me, started as a hobby. My background is not in farming. My background is finance. I'm a certified public accountant. I'm also a human resource practitioner.
Okay.
But I started farming when I was 21 years. This was a part-time. It was more like something to do after working hours.
Yeah.
So eventually to graduate to something that can generate some income.
So let me ask you, when you said part-time, there's something you were doing part-time. I mean, for you to be able to see benefits of, the work that you're doing, you got to do it like en masse. What seedlings did you start with?
I started with passion fruit. Fruit seedlings, but eventually that's not where the demand was. The demand was in skuma wiki, spinach, the things that people consume on a daily basis. So they tend to move that in large quantities. Then those ones, every season they're out, the farmer has to plant again. So that's where I would say the business picked up at the skuma, spinach, tomatoes, cabbages. But it didn't start big. Remember I was 21, so I didn't have much in terms of finances. I was still a youth who is trying to figure out life. So it was a step at a time, a lot of reinvesting, a bit of sacrifice here and there, and kujiaminia. But eventually it grew to something that could generate income. So I resigned after like 2 years later.
After 2 years of doing seedlings, you got a job, finance?
Yes. Because the money that I was getting from the farm was almost the same amount I was getting from the accounting job.
So you decided to focus in on the farming.
Yes. But the issue was not even the money. The way I was looking at it is in my own job, or rather in farming, I have the freedom of mind. I can go out of the box. I have my time. I can do so many things.
Yeah.
And because youth, we are creative. We are still young. I could do more plus.
Yeah.
I wanted to interact with my clients so that they feel at home. I could incorporate so many other things while I'm still selling seedlings and create that relation with the farmers. That's what I was looking for. And that was the most scary decision of my life, to quit a very nice job. It was great. It was comfortable. The salary was good. There was insurance and all of those benefits. And I was going into the world of the unknown. I didn't know if this will work. Farming is a seasonal thing. I wasn't sure if when it doesn't rain, my customers will come. But eventually that turned out to be the best decisions I've ever, one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I love it. We're speaking to Caroline Mwangi, who's the director of Kimplanter Seedlings. Caroline, I want you to hold that thought. We're going to play some music and then we come back to talk. Especially, what are some of the challenges that you face? Because stepping out of a job and going into the farm, there must have been challenges. And especially as a woman, were there any challenges? Don't go nowhere.
Vibes Radio.
Right now, we're talking to Caroline Mwangi. She is the director of Kimplanter Seedlings. And today she's talking to us about how she quit her job in finance kwenda kuanzisha Kimplanter Seedlings. This was 2 years in the business. Akona hai job ikae, by the way. Nasaya akona job security. Caroline, come back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you. That's a fun show.
Thank you. Asante sana. We try to keep it as fun as possible. Asante sana. So Caroline, hebu tuambie sasa ati uko hapo umewacha kazi. I'm sure it was not a bed of roses.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Because, let's say, at first, I didn't even have the support.
Wow.
So people could not believe, especially my parents. And my dad, he's the strongest support system until today. But that time he wasn't with me. He was like, you cannot be serious. You are one of the lucky people who got the job immediately after school.
Yeah.
And you know how tough it is in this country. Then you want to leave that same job and go into farming. He couldn't believe I've used his money to go to college now to go to the farm. I think at that point he was almost like, please refund me my money as you go to mess up your life.
Yeah.
But eventually, I had to take courage. I'm the only one who knew what the vision is.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who could see the reason why. I wasn't even sure myself. I wasn't 100% sure, but there was some gut feeling in me that was telling me, you know what, Carol, if you don't take this step of faith now, when there are no much bills, when there are no kids crying for school fees, when there is no husband who is telling you, no, we need to share bills in this house, you have to take this step of faith right now. Because when it fails, it's just you and some parents to convince that you can do it again.
Yeah.
So that was what was giving me a lot of strength. So eventually I quit, and it wasn't easy after I quit. So that transition from formal to informal.
Yeah, how was that? Ulikuwa unavaa suti kwenda kwa ofisi, sasa unavaa kabuti na boots.
I had to go heels and take gumboots.
Yeah.
I had to let go nails and just go in farming.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the resources to employ people to do everything. So I only had one farm hand. So basically I had to be everything. That was tough, but not really tough. I couldn't say that is my biggest challenge because I was ready for it.
Yeah.
What was tough is my expectations of the business were too very high. That you come out here and it hits you, you will not make your first million in the first week.
Yeah.
Their month you won't make anything, their month you make something.
Yeah.
So I had to first get comfortable with the fact that this is business and it is still new, it still needs more of my sacrifice and dedication to grow.
Okay.
So that was the first realization, like you won't be getting the salary by the end of the month. You have to put in the work to get money. So it came with a lot of sacrifice. I had to let go some of the lifestyle, like starting every weekend had to go. Because I need I needed a sober Saturday.
So you can go to the shamba.
Yes, and people, your clients, my farmers, they need to find me ready and fresh.
Yeah.
Some of my friends, some of the relationships could not work anymore because I was busy now. So these are some of the sacrifices.
Yani Caroline uliomoka ukaacha mabeshte yako, but it's important.
Ndo waliniacha. Siku hata nimeomoka. I just couldn't meet up with the expectations. I couldn't party anymore.
Imagine.
I wasn't available at every call. I wasn't able to just go for coffee at 6.
Yeah.
I am tired.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm still doing bookkeeping that time. So I think some of them left early and that was good enough for me.
Caroline,
I got new ones.
As you got into this business of seed planting, is there anyone you'd seen and you're like, you know what, let me learn from them? Ama ilikuwa tu yani trizex?
I would say it was more of trial because the people that I came to realize were in the same field, I discovered them after I have started mine. What I would say, internet really helped me. See, the time I was employed, I used to do my job morning hours. Then in the afternoon, either I'm studying or I'm on YouTube, I'm on internet, just seeing things, researching on things that were of interest to me. And one of those things is farming. For me, farming has always been that thing. I have a thing for nurturing, and crops have a positive response to it. If you nurture it well, it will respond.
Yeah.
So I would say the internet really helped me because I didn't even have the background in farming. Then later, when I discovered now, there are two other companies that are owned by foreigners and they are big. I started now looking up for inspiration from them, maybe. But I can say internet really helped. And after that, of course, I took short courses.
And how did you settle down? Because when a lot of people go into farming, they're like, okay, nitapanda mahindi, nitafuga wanyama. How did you figure Seedlings was the gap?
when I was doing passion fruit seedlings, I was making some juice and selling them to some juice parlor in Resambu. That's where I was living then. But now, over the weekend, people would come and visit the farm. But their interest was not on my juice. Their interest was not on the fruit. They wanted, where did you get the seedlings for this passion fruit crops? We also want to try this. They realized, okay, the money is not even, the interest is not in my juice. The interest is in passion fruit seedlings. So I started making a few of those. First, I was too naive. I used to refer people to where I got them. Then that guy sold out the seedlings, and they would come back to me. You sent us, but he doesn't have. I realized, oh, okay, let me make mine. Then I sent to you people. So when I was doing that, they would ask, you have for spinach? Do you have for skuma? Do you have for tomatoes? Do you have for cabbages? I was like, okay, let me research on this. Let me do this. And that's how it started.
And that's how you went. I love it. I love the story, and I can't wait to hear more of this. I'm going to take a short break. Just hang in there, Carol. Caroline Mwangi is the director of Kimplanter, and she's sharing with us how she got into the business of seed planting. In fact, you can visit her website right now in case you're looking to get into the business and you're looking for seedlings, kimplanterseedlings.co.ke. When I come back, we're going to find out how she scaled the business, because right now it's not as where she had started.
Vibes Radio.
All right, Caroline, welcome back.
Thank you.
So I'm looking at Kimplanter website. This is a seedling company that you started. How long has the company been in existence?
7 years now. 7 years now.
7 years.
But you can say, you can say 7 years, but professionally, that was after I quit my job. So you can say about 5 years. The past 7 years, ilikuwa niyo mchezo ya passion fruit, trying to discover myself.
Kutengeneza juice.
But we have been, let's say, for good trading for about 5-6 years now. It didn't start as big as you're seeing it there. Right now we have 3 branches, one in Kiambu County, other one in Muranga, another one in Kajiado.
Now, let me ask you, as someone is listening to you right now and they're like, okay, I'd never thought about doing seedlings. I've always thought of farming. What are the benefits of doing seedling rather than doing the farming yourself?
I wouldn't say there is much advantage towards seedlings other than farming. How I look at it is, to be able to maximize in an industry, you need to specialize. You cannot be a guru in all the trades. You're likely to fail. So what I'm looking at is, if someone specializes in seedlings, the other one specializes in production, the other one in value addition, the other one in marketing. We have a full chain of experts, and that industry is likely to be very successful, and we are likely to create employment for everyone in the areas where they are very comfortable at. If you start farming and you want to do the seedlings, you want to do your own production, you want to add value to your own produce and take it to the market, you're going to lose it at one point. And one particular stage is going to fail the whole process because you are not an expert in that area. So I believe I'm an expert in seedlings. Another one is an expert in production. Another one is an expert in marketing. And that is how we can engage all the youth out there. Maybe someone is not interested in going to the farm, but they are very good at mobile applications. They are very good at marketing. Someone else is just going and is willing to do the deliveries, connect customers and the producers. It's just a stage where you're comfortable at, and then you do it passionately with a lot of interest.
I mean, I'm looking at this job, Caroline, and I'm like, no, picha zako hapa kwa website, uko kwa shamba. You know, it looks like it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It consumes a lot of energy. Do you find that, how are your days like? Do you spend a lot of energy in the farm, or where do you spend most of your time?
Yes, most of the time I'm at work. But I love it.
In the shamba?
Because I'm doing, because it's an interest, there's passion in it. So I have to be very dedicated. Plus, at my area of specialization, this is nursery. These plants are very delicate. These are young ones. These are like babies. If you leave them unattended, they are likely to fail. These are people's orders. People have trusted them. I've trusted us with so many of their orders. Every month, we are handling 1.2 million seedlings.
Wow.
Half of these is client orders. You want trust you cannot really mess up with, and that dedication is what has grown us. We started with a capacity of about 15,000 seedlings only. About 5 years later, we are doing 1.2. So as you grow, it comes with a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
I can say I have a baby now, I have a 5-year-old son. So I still have to strike a balance in life.
Yeah.
I still have to look at family. I still have to balance my social life. I also have to work.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of dedication. And when you do that as a youth, I like talking to you because I'm a youth mentor.
Yeah.
But you have to balance things, and you have to incline more to your family and where resources to sustain that life is coming from.
Is seedling seedling business, is it capital intensive?
Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, it's because you have greenhouses.
Yeah.
As you can see in the photos.
Yeah.
You need to have tables and the seeds that you are propagating, because these are for commercial farmers, people who are doing kilimo biashara.
Yeah.
And as well for kitchen gardens. We're not limited in our clientele, but people want quality. So the kind of things we are going to buy is also expensive. So it is capital intensive. The best break for anyone who wants to go in is when they start small and let the business grow itself.
Oh, wow. You know, we had another farmer, a friend of ours, a friend of Vibes last week, and he said, same thing, start small, aim to go big. Now let's talk losses. Because, Carolyn, everything we're hearing, umesema 15,000 per month. Now you're dealing with 1.2 million seedlings. These are people's orders. But it can't have been, just what are some of the challenges that you face that have almost even shut down the business?
Challenges have been there. They are still there until now. Because just like I said, these are delicate products.
Yeah.
These are also perishable. These seedlings, they are only in our hands for about 4 to 5 weeks. If they overgrow very fast, you tend to make losses.
Yeah.
If somebody sprays a certain chemical or other dawa that is not supposed to be sprayed in that rate, it just dies. And I cannot handle this capacity all alone right now. So I've had to engage agronomists. Right now we have about 18 staff, permanent staff, and of course a lot of other casuals.
Yeah.
But you have to be keen with each and every other person that is here. Most of our lessons occur at perishability, because you see just half of 1.2 million is people's order. The other half is our order, speculating, hoping a farmer will come and buy. Assume that farmer doesn't come and buy on time.
It's losses.
You get losses. Assume someone by mistake sprays something that is in higher doses. You get losses. The only way to mitigate it is to be very, very, very keen and to have our marketing strategy in check. But sometimes there are calamities that are beyond our control.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be rainfalls and the farms are flooded. They can no longer take their seedlings. You have to be ready, and business comes with profit and losses at the same time, but that is not a reason to give up.
That's not a reason to give up. I like the message. Carolyn, there's a lot of young people who are looking to get into farming. What are 3 things you would advise someone who's going into farming in whatever capacity that you've mentioned? Maybe they want to get into distribution of juice. Maybe they want to seedlings. Maybe they want to farm. What 3 things would you tell someone who is about to get into this business?
One, identify your interest and passion. Where is your interest at? Assume you don't make money in the first 6 months. What will be driving you? That is first, number one.
Yeah.
If then you're going into one of these chains, what is your market? We say Andrea Sokoni. Figure it out. If you're producing, who is uptaking your produce? If you're doing seedlings, who is your market? Do your market research very, very properly before you start. Do not buy I'm saying this on media, but do not buy the media hype. First, do your research first, then you get into it. Number 3, start small and let the business grow itself so that it doesn't drain you and your resources.
I love it. Now, of course, we've got to end on a high note. What are some of the joys, the rewards of the work that you've been doing? Because, I mean, do you meet your finance friends and go like, oh man, did I make a mistake? Or you're like, this is exactly what I should be doing. So what have been some of the wins?
one of my best moments in the business is when I got an award from the president. That was October 2019.
Yeah.
I was awarded the best youth in agriculture nationally.
Wow.
That was a big break for me,
Yeah.
for many youth, and for our business. It just took things to a whole new level.
Yeah.
And the inspiration that it brought to the youth and to our community at large.
Yeah.
I look at the impact and I'm impressed, and I was motivated. About quitting my job, no.
Do you think, do you sometimes think I say, "Akina insurance"?
No. I work hard now, I can get the insurance.
Yes.
But I prefer the freedom of mind out here.
Yeah.
I think different personalities love different things. I'm not able to stay in an office 8 to 5.
Yeah.
I think my personality is not like that. And I also don't like books that much. I like being out in the field, experiencing things, meeting people, interacting with people, especially the youth. So I would never regret that decision.
I love it. Caroline, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. You can find Caroline's company, Kimplanter Seedlings, on the internet. They've got a website, Kimplanters, seedlings.co.ke. Asante sana for speaking to me this morning, and I'm sure you've inspired a lot of youth who are tuned in right now.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. There we have it. Caroline talking to us about seedlings and the business. I hope you've learned a thing or two. But there's something she said, two things she said that the other guy said. Alisema, don't buy into the hype and start small as you aim to go big.
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.